continue in 1 Thessalonians this morning. So please open up your Bibles to 1 Thessalonians chapter 2. For some reason, I almost said chapter 5. I mean, 1 Thessalonians 5 is a great chapter, but we got a ways to go before we get there. We'll be picking up in verse 5, though. In the summer of 1859, that was a while ago. Who was alive still back then? There was a few of you. 1859, June 30th, the first man successfully walked a tightrope across Niagara Falls. His name was Charles Blondin. It was 1,100 feet long, 1,100 feet long. That's over a football field length, right? 160 feet over the water. And as I was reading about this, I've heard about this before, and as I was reading about it, I was like, where did he do this? Was this like right over the falls? Like where, this is pretty precarious, like what was going on? It was actually just downstream of where the falls were as it went across the gorge. So from one height to the other, 160 feet up with the falls in the background. Thousands, it was 10,000s of people there watching him do this. And he did it successfully. He didn't fall. And so the next weekend to bring back another crowd and I think to get a little bit more money for them and the promoters, he did it again. And then it wasn't quite as much fun to watch anymore. So then it was like, okay, well, let's amp it up. And so he started carrying different things across it while he did it. Then at one point he took a chair, brought a chair with him and a little stove, sat down in the middle of the rope, made an omelet, ate it. And then, I guess the story goes, he lowered the leftover stuff into a boat down underneath and then finished walking across it. It's crazy. And then people wanted more. And so until one day, he had this idea that he was going to take a wheelbarrow loaded with 350 pounds of concrete. And he pushed it across, and it was successful. You were waiting to hear that he fell to his death. No, he got it across. And when he got to the other side, the crowd just erupted and just cheers, and oh, that was amazing. And he says, do you think I could do it with somebody in the wheelbarrow? And they were like, yeah. And he's like, who's going to volunteer? There weren't as many cheers when it came time to look for a volunteer. This story often is told in the context of faith, right? And rightly so. When we think about faith, that really kind of is a good illustration. Do you trust Jesus is going to get you across the gorge? Then have faith to be in the wheelbarrow. I've heard it used kind of in that way. But if you look at the title of the sermon today, what we're going to be looking at is a worthy model for a gospel trustee. And there's two aspects of this because I didn't finish last week. So we're going to finish up the internal motivation and then look at the external representation. So what motivates us and then how do we act in it? So if Charles could carry somebody across and you believe that, the question would be, would you do it? Probably not, unless what? Was there something in it for you? Like what would motivate you to get into that wheelbarrow and let him push you across? Would it be some sort of financial gain? Would it be a fame or fortune? And so this is again, I want us to think of it from that perspective of motivation. Because there was somebody who said, you know what, I'll do it. You can carry me across. But they didn't use a wheelbarrow. In fact, he climbed onto his back. And he carried him across. They had to stop 6 times. I have no idea how they did this, but the article says that 6 times they had to stop. They had to let him off of his back so that he could take a rest. And then they got him back on his. Could you imagine that? On a tightrope 160 feet up? You know what motivated that guy to do that, to allow Charles to do that? It was his promoter and manager. So he not only did he have faith in him, but I think he was going to get something out of it. Right, so motivation can be a powerful thing. It can sometimes motivate us to do silly things like climb on somebody's back and have them carry us across a tightrope. But motivation can be a good thing. And so that's, again, what I want us to look at this morning is what is the motivation that we see in Paul and Silas and Timothy in this? Because Paul is giving us a description and saying, hey, this is how we came to you. This is what motivated us. And this is how we behaved among you. You're witnesses. And that's what he's writing and what he's doing. But what I want us to see from that is what can we learn from that? What can we learn about their internal motivation? And so we'll wrap that up this morning. So let's get into the text of 1 Thessalonians chapter 2. I'm going to read the entire section from verse 1 to 12. If you're able to stand in honor of God's word, please stand now. And we'll read 1 Thessalonians chapter 2. Again, beginning in verse 1. For you yourselves know, brothers, that our entrance to you was not in vain. But after we had already suffered and had been mistreated in Philippi, as you know, we had the boldness in our God to speak to you the gospel of God amid much struggle. For our exhortation does not come from error or impurity or by way of deceit. But just as we have been approved by God to be entrusted with the gospel, so we speak, not as pleasing men, but God who examines our hearts. For we never came with a flattering word, as you know, nor with a pretext for greed, God is witness, nor seeking glory from men, either from you or from others, even though as apostles of Christ we could have been a burden to you. But we proved to be gentle among you, as a nursing mother tenderly cares for her own children. In this way, having fond affection for you, we were pleased to impart to you not only the gospel of God, but also our own lives, because you had become beloved to us. For you remember, brothers, our labor and hardship, how working night and day so as not to be a burden to any of you, we proclaimed to you the gospel of God. You are witnesses, and so is God, of how devoutly and righteously and blamelessly we behaved toward you believers. Just as you know how we were exhorting and encouraging and bearing witness to each one of you as a father would his own children, so that you would walk in a manner worthy of the God who calls you into his own kingdom and glory. So ends the reading of God's word. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we have gathered here this morning for the purpose of magnifying your name, extolling your greatness. Lord, acknowledging your majesty and worshiping you because of it. So, Lord, we come because of who you are and who we are as your creation. But, Lord, we also come not as pagans who fear an almighty God, but as beloved children. For those of us who know you and have been adopted into the family of Christ, Lord, we come longing to love you this morning, to have our hearts stirred up by your word. Lord, to be encouraged to walk in a manner worthy of your calling. So, Lord, I pray this morning that through your Spirit and through your word, Father, you would do that work. That you would equip us, that you would encourage us, Lord, that you would exhort us. So, Lord, do that work, we pray in Christ's name. Amen. So as we looked at this passage, what I really desired for us to see in verses 1 through 8 is three examples. As Paul is telling of their time there in Thessalonians, I wanted to extrapolate, maybe too much, the application for us. What do we learn from this as we see him describe what they were doing? And so I even asked this question, what were the pure motives which made Paul, Silas, and Timothy worthy examples as gospel trustees? Right? That was the thing. So if they set this great example as they're explaining what they were doing, what motivated them to do that? And I think we can see the motivations in the text. And so I wanted us to follow in that same example. And so in your notes, you have this, and this is a way of review. There's three key characteristics that outline the motivation of a gospel trustee. And I have in there, again, the definition for you of a gospel trustee. What does that mean? It's those who have been entrusted with the gospel. And as a trustee, you're called on to manage that asset. You can see the verses there that would go with that. 1 Thessalonians 2:4, 2 Timothy 2:2. And so we got through these first two key characteristics, and that's having a deep trust in God and having a desire to please God. A deep trust in God and a desire to please Him. Those were the internal motivations that caused them to act. And so when we think about that, as we get into the third point, which I gave you but I didn't explain, we're going to look at this mindset of the way of thinking that motivates you. And so point number 3, as we kind of continue on with last week's message and this idea of the key characteristics that motivate us, is a humility in yourself which results in deep care for others. A gospel trustee has a humility in themselves, a humility before God and before others, which results in a deep care for others. And I stopped on this point last week because I didn't want to rush through it. I forgot about our exciting announcement with the youth group last week, and so I just didn't really account for that in my message. And while that only ate up 6 minutes, 6 minutes is a lot when you're preaching. That's a lot. And so when you look at the clock and you're like, man, I only got 8 more minutes. I wish I had 6 more. That makes a difference. And so I didn't want to rush through this. And so we'll get to take a little bit more time as we come through this. And what I want us to see is Paul explains that their deep care for the Thessalonians is evident in their selfless actions among them. Paul had a certain level of authority as an apostle, but he said, we came to serve you, not to be served by you. We didn't come to flex our status among you. And again, that's the humility that I'm talking about. There was a genuine humility that he had in his care for others. And as you look at the text, I want you to notice the division of it. Again, just a little hints for you as you're reading the Bibles to see some of these key things. We started out in verses 1 and 2. And if you notice at the beginning of verse 1, there's this explanatory phrase, therefore. And so he goes in and he starts to explain something. And then in verse 2, there's a adversative, but. So he's saying, explain this, but not like this. Look at verse 3. Again, it starts with a for, and then there's the but. There's a continuation of this explanation. And so he's kind of contrasting a few things to make his point. I'm taking the time to point this out to you because I want to be one who helps you see these things in Scripture. I don't want you to come here and rely on me to spoon feed you these things. I want you to grow so that you can recognize these natural breaks in the text. And so if we look through verses 5 to 8, what do you notice there? It splits in verse 5 and 7 again. Before, and then there's an explanation in verses 5 to 6, and then a contrast in verse 7. And this is what we're going to see is this the negative description in verses 5 to 6, and then the positive expression in verse 7 and 8. We didn't act like this. This is not how we came to you, but this is how we came to you. So in verse 5, we read, we never came with a flattering word, as you know, nor with a pretext for greed. God is witness. Now, the point for you that should be on the screen is going to be different than what's in your notes. I wanted to simplify this. They didn't come seeking status. They were not seeking status. So if you're taking notes and as you fill that in, you can make that adjustment or simplify that for yourself. Humility doesn't come with a desire to attain status. What Paul describes here is we never came with a flattering word. And never is a strong word in English. Would you agree? Never is a strong word. You know what? In the Greek, it's a strong word also. And that's what he's saying here. Never and not ever did we come. Not ever. And he even adds this, as you know. As you know. There's a denial of there ever being a time where flattery was used. People may have, accused them of flattery. People may have, wondered if what they were doing was flattery. But Paul denies that there was any chance that he ever employed this or any part of his team, Silas and Timothy. They didn't use flattery for status. But why do I keep saying status? How is flattery used for status? Flattery isn't just heavy-handed compliments. That's kind of what we think about it today. And so this is one of those issues that as we read something today, we read it in our context instead of the context that it was in at that time. We would say, oh, you flatter me. You say too much of nice things about me. You complimented me too much. Flattery isn't just overly complimenting someone. In fact, one commentator wrote this that I thought was helpful. Listen to this. He says, flattery, it is rather the smooth-tongued discourse of the orator aimed at making a favorable impression that would gain influence over others for selfish advantage. Using your language. Paul could be distancing himself from the itinerant philosophers of the day, again, saying, hey, there's a lot of people who are like this, but this isn't us. We didn't come with words of flattery, meaning we didn't come into looking for status. This is something what we might call like a con artist today. And I'm sorry if you're a car salesman in here, but a lot of times this is kind of what we attribute to that, and not just car salesmen, even any salesperson, right? When you get that phone call, hey, your hair looks great today. How can you see my hair? It's that sort of an idea, right? But do you ever think about it this way? Flattery is being a false friend. Flattery is being a false friend. The Greeks thought of it that way. And that's really the idea that was behind that. In fact, Aristotle wrote about flattery in the 4th century BC, and he wrote this on a screen for you. The man who always joins in the pleasure of his companions, if he sets out to be pleasant for no ulterior motive, right? So no hidden, no secret, no hidden motive there, is obsequious. I had to look that up. It has this idea of being an obedient, attentive, or willing to please. Meaning he just wants to have favor with his friends. He just wants his friends to have a good time. But if he does so for the sake of getting something by it, again, so the joining in the pleasure of his companions and going with his friends, if he does this for the sake of getting something by it in the shape of money or money's worth, he's a flatterer. He's a flatterer. You're doing it because you want to get something out of it. Plutarch in the 1st century AD, another author and philosopher, wrote this: a flatterer corrupts the morals of the young and only pretends to be a friend. The problem with flattery is its close tie to deception. The words that you use might be true, but the heart behind it is false. And Scripture gives us great illustrations of a smooth-talking liar. Can you think of a smooth-talking liar in Scripture that seeks to gain status and influence over people? Satan. And so, is that the person that we want to imitate? Flattery should not be a part of us. And behind the heart of flattery is seeking status. We want that person to like us, to think more highly of us, or to do some sort of favor with us. So let's not let status seeking and flattery be part of our walk as gospel trustees. So humility will not allow you to use deception, but it also is not seeking splendor. Humility does not seek splendor. Again, a change in your notes, just a simplification of this for you. A desire for splendor is a desire for riches, for comfort and grandeur. And you see that just right in the text in verse 5. It says, we never came with flattering words, as you know, nor with a pretext for greed. A pretext is a misleading reason or a motive to justify an action. Several commentators noted that the root word of the Greek here is related to a mask. And so the idea of pretext is that we didn't come to you wearing masks. Pretending to be something that we were not. right? To satisfy a desire for splendor, for riches, or comfort. That's the heart of even that expression there is it's not just money that they were seeking, but it's riches. It's a self-satisfying greed for more than what you were due. That's the opposite of humility. A high view of self that creates a low view of others in your pursuit of money and comfort, convenience. What God wants is a humble servant, not a proud servant. And I think of Christ's example. Again, Christ came to what? To serve, not to be served. And all throughout Scripture, you can read and you see the fingerprints of this saying, and you see it direct. God opposes the proud, but he gives grace to the humble. So the end of verse 5, Paul appeals to God. He says, God is witness. You can't see our internal motivation, but you know what? God is witness to us that this is not how we came. We didn't come using flattering speech to try to gain status. We didn't come to you with a pretext for greed, that we were actually had this hidden motive of seeking splendor. God can testify to that. He knows our hearts, and he knows your heart. And the next denial that he makes really sums it all up. And this is that he's not seeking self-glorification. We'll move into verse 6. We'll see this point that humility is not seeking self-glorification. Verse 6 reads, nor seeking glory from men, either from you or from others. Even though as apostles of Christ, we could have been a burden to you. There was no pattern or practice of seeking glory from men. That is human glory. We weren't seeking glory from you, the Thessalonians. Those of you who have come to believe, we weren't seeking it from you, nor were we seeking it from anybody else. There was no glory there. We weren't looking for status. We weren't looking for the praise of men or even the financial support that they could have demanded as being apostles of Christ. Again, you see at the end of verse 6 that he writes, though as apostles, we could have been a burden to you. We could have been a burden to you. Now this is, I would just want to point out, because some people look at this and go, okay, who is he calling apostles? He says, as apostles, us being apostles. The consensus on this is that it's Paul and Silas. Some people want to argue that Silas wasn't an apostle. I think by this and some other indications that he was grouped in as part of these apostles, not just strictly the 12 that we see, but Silas could have been part of that group who saw the Lord Jesus raised and was commissioned by him. But Timothy is nowhere else in Scripture is he ever referenced to that. So I just want to point that out in there in case you ever come across that and have to give an answer and look into that. But Paul and Silas are probably in view here as he says, as apostles, we had an authority where we could have come and thrown our weight around. That's the idea of being a burden, being weighty, having some heft to you. He says, we didn't come that way. That's not how we came to you. We didn't come. We could have sought status as an apostle. We could have sought financial support as an apostle. We could have sought special recognition as an apostle, but we didn't. We didn't want to compromise the proclamation of the gospel to you in any way. And so we came to you in all humility, in the way of Christ, who comes to serve and not be served. And so Paul says that's not how we came to you. And then he contrasts it and now in verses 7 to 8, and he states in the positive how they came. He states in the positive how a gospel trustee should have humility that results in a deep care for others. Again, a deep internal motivation to be gentle and loving. And so verse D simplified is just a desire to be gentle and loving. I think I said verse D, point D, is a desire to be gentle and loving. Again, I'll point out that verse 7 starts off with this adversative. He says, but. So not like this. We could have been a burden to you, but we proved to be gentle among you. We proved to be gentle among you. And then he illustrates that. He says, as a nursing mother tenderly cares for her own children. And I think this is a beautiful thing. And there's some interesting things that's going on this text. When he says we prove to be gentle among you, there's something that's called a textual variant in this. And often on Sundays we don't talk about this. I don't bring this up, that there's some old manuscripts that maybe have this word and there's some other manuscripts that have that, because sometimes it freaks people out to think that, like, what do you mean? There's different versions of the Bible? No, but sometimes, has anybody ever misspelled a word? Or any time that you type, you never get the red squiggly thing underneath it? Okay, but when the scribes would copy some of these manuscripts, every once in a while they might make a spelling error. And that's what's known as a variation. Somebody would copy something. Somebody comes in and interrupts them, and then they look back down. Oh, what line was I on? Right here. And they keep writing, and they missed a chunk, or they reduplicated a chunk, or something else like that. There's a little textual variant here. And on the screen, I'll have it up there for you. Epioi or nepioi. Do you see the difference? That V is not a V, that's an N. But that's the letter. That's the difference. Okay? And so in the 20,000 varying copies that we have of Scripture, not all of them complete Bibles, but maybe some of them just pages, some of them just books. But in the 20,000 options that we have to look at, when we compare these things, it's only about 1% that ever makes any sort of an issue that we can go, it's plausible that this is a variant, and it has some sort of significance to how we might interpret the passage. So I bring that up because I want you guys to have confidence in the Word of God that's in your lap. That God has preserved His Word for us today. Whether you believe that to be through the majority text or the eclectic text or whatever else, God has preserved His Word for us in an amazing way. And we have more copies of Scripture than any other ancient book, and they all affirm the same message with such a small percentage of difference that you could call error. This is God's Word. He has protected it for us. And so back into this text, if the difference between those two words that I had up there that's in here is whether it says we were gentle among you or we were infants among you. So how would that change your interpretation of this text? I would argue that it doesn't. And again, it's not a very significant change, even with that spelling difference there. The context here is speaking of authority. An infant had no authority. And being gentle contrasts throwing around your weight, and acting with authority. Again, we could have been a burden. We could have flexed our authority, but we proved to be like infants, like little babies. We didn't come with authority. Or we came gentle among you. Again, not throwing around our weight. And the next phrase is just so beautiful. And there's something that's lost in translation here. And I don't know how the translators could have made this come across. Like you just have to do a little bit of research to see what's meant here by this term, nursing mother. As we prove to be gentle among you, as a nursing mother tenderly cares for her own children. I think if I were to translate this a little bit differently, is I would use instead the expression a wet nurse here. Because that's really kind of the idea behind that. But even as I say that, some of you know what that means and some of you don't. A wet nurse is a nursing mother who nurses somebody else's child. And that was very common at this time. In the ancient time, that you would have a woman who would be able to nurse not only her own children, but produce enough milk that she could nurse somebody else's child. And so she would get hired to care for that child. It's not as common today. But in this time, it was. And so this illustration that Paul uses, when he uses this term trophos here, he brings in this imagery of a woman who would be hired to nurse and to care and sometimes, kind of raise and instruct somebody else's child. But then, so with that in mind, read the text again. We prove to be gentle among you as a nursing mother, as one who was hired to care for somebody else's children, as she would tenderly care for her own children. Do you see that? And the depth that comes, it's like, okay, yeah, she was hired to care for these other people, but how much more lovingly, how much more tenderly, warming does she care for her own children? Paul says that's how we came to you, Thessalonians. We came to you like that. We didn't come to you as though we were hired to do a job, but we came to you as though you were our own children, and we love you. We didn't seek status among you. And that's the humility that brings in this desire to be gentle and loving towards others. That's an internal motivation when you see yourself lower than others, that you see others more important than yourself, that you can then be giving the same tender care towards others. They desired to come and proclaim the gospel of God. That is the good news of God's salvation for sinners. But he also gave them their own lives, as you see in verse 8. He says, it's in this way, having fond affection for you, in this way as a nursing mother, having that kind of deep care and love for you, that we were pleased to impart to you not only the gospel of God, but also our own lives, because you had become beloved to us. So Paul sets up this hypothetical situation that we could be like a nursing mother. And that's a way that I could describe that manner is how we came to you, having fond affection for you. Why? Because we wanted to proclaim the gospel of God, and then we also gave our own lives to you. Our own lives to you, because you had become beloved to us. The word that he used there for lives is suke, and it's soul. And so he's talking about our very being. Everything that we are, we gave to you. Our primary concern was to preach the gospel. Did you catch that? He says, we came to proclaim the gospel to you, but you know what happened as a result of that? We gave you our whole lives because you came beloved. You were brothers and sisters in Christ. And we loved you. As you came to believe the message of the gospel, we were united in the blood of Christ, and we had such a care for you. They were determined to not only share the gospel, but their entire lives. I think that is an example for us, again, here today, even in Indio, California in 2024. To be that same type of people who are not seeking status, right? Who are not seeking splendor, are not seeking self-glorification, but instead have a tender, loving, gentle care for all people, but especially those of the household of God, especially those who are brothers and sisters in Christ. Now, I'm thankful that I didn't try to rush through that in about 8 minutes last week. But now I'm going to rush through the next part. We got some time still. And so I've never done this before, but that kind of like wrapped up one sermon, and now I'm going to start a new sermon. So I'm going to go sit down for a second. No, I'm not going to. But that completes that thought. It completes the thought of this section. But it also doesn't, because this isn't like a full chapter break here. But Paul is writing this letter, and he continues on now in verse 9. And so as we have this idea in our head that it's in this way of how we came to you, we gave our very lives to you because of how beloved you were to us. You became beloved to us. And then verse 9, again, here's, what did I tell you to look for? There's your for. Here's another little explanatory. Okay, so he's going to start to explain something to us. For you remember, brothers, our labor and hardship, how working night and day, so as not to be a burden to any of you, we proclaim to you the gospel of God. Okay, so this is our shift. This is our transition. And I want to ask you this question, and it's on the back of your notes as you follow along. How did Paul, Silas, and Timothy's actions exemplify that their lives lined up with what they proclaimed? You copy that? Like, does your walk match your talk? You're saying this, are you living it? And he comes in now and he says, you remember. So I just explained to you these things that were motivating us to behave this way amongst you, and you know from these actions of how we gave our lives to you. And so in verses 9 through 12, I just want us to see two primary characteristics of a gospel trustee that are also an example for us today. Right, so in this little mini sermon here, I want us to, again, see the external representation. So we looked at the internal motivation, now the external representation. I tried to have those kind of match each other. The easier way to say it would have just been a testimony. Right? That's how most of us know this idea of external representation is our testimony. How does our life live as a testimony to what we believe? How is it a witness? The first characteristic that we see in Paul and the team is that they're hardworking. They're hardworking. Again, verse 9 has this explanatory guard that follows up on the thought that, hey, we are proving to be gentle among you. And how did that happen? Well, you remember, brothers, that we gave our very lives to you. And what did that look like? Well, you saw our actions amongst you. What do you remember? When you think of how we were with you, what do you remember? Do you remember the long days? Do you remember the labor and the hardship? Do you remember that, Thessalonians? As Paul's probably looking at the blisters on his hands, he said, because I remember it. I worked hard amongst you. When he says labor, it's the same word that's used back in chapter 1, verse 3 in labor of love. And if you have your notes on that, you might remember that this is a toil. This is exhausting work. There's other words that he could have used to describe work. In fact, he does later in the same verse. But here he uses labor, toil. Just describing really expendable energy type of work. And then he pairs it with hardships. If labor wasn't intense enough, he adds hardships to this. And he combines these two words together. And it's a common phrase for Paul. Paul likes this. Whenever he has to describe hard, manual, exhaustive labor, he puts these two together. He does it here. He does it in 2 Thessalonians. He does it in 2 Corinthians. Because it pictures strenuous work. It emphasizes exertion and energy being expended towards the effort that is involved in this activity. And I thought, man, what could illustrate this so well? And I thought, you know what? It's like when you ask a teenager to empty the dishwasher. I mean, the amount of effort that they have to put in to empty the dishwasher is hard, exhausting, laborious work. And I thought that's what came to mind. So that's what you guys get. But you could fill in what comes in behind this. Some of the things that are behind this, it has the idea of striking and repetitive striking. That's at the root of some of these things. And so you can think of those people who might work in mines and are milling granite and are pulling those rods out or they're digging constantly or whatever. Some of you here have laborious jobs that are like that. You're going out in the sun throughout the summer and you're having to work hard and you're toiling. You're not a nerd like me who has to sit and read a bunch of books all the time. It's a blessing. The school part of it does make it worse. I can't wait to be here full time. But it's different. It's a different type. It's not an energy expending type of work. And he says that this was night and day that we did this amongst you. Right? And you see that in the text. Our labor and hardship, how working night and day so as to not be a burden. It's quite possible that this is literal, that they were working night and day, that they might take orders throughout the day in the shop, in the agora. In fact, I have a picture for you that you guys can look at here at my time in Thessalonica. I wasn't a big fan of Thessalonica. I think I told you guys in this introduction. To me, it's like a modern day San Francisco. It's just, so this is some of the ancient ruins there, and this would have been the main agora. So it's quite possible that this Roman agora here would have been the area where Paul would have set up a shop in Thessalonica. In one of these stands here, you can see there's kind of columns. This is where you would have shops. He'd set up there. He'd take orders through the day. Scripture tells us that he was a tent maker, and by that, probably what that really means is that he was a leather worker. Tents were made of leather, and so he would make tents, but that idea comes with somebody who would make leather. So he could take orders throughout the day. Hey, I need these shoes repaired. I need this belt. I need this harness for my oxen, whatever else like that. He could take those orders throughout the day and then work throughout the night in making and manufacturing those things for people, fulfilling those orders. And what's nice about that is look at what he does while he's doing that. Some of the translations don't capture this well, but this is what I really appreciate about the LSB. The way that you read this. For you remember, brothers, our labor and hardships, how working night and day, so as to not be a burden to any of you, we proclaim to you the gospel of God. Now, as you read that, what's the main action that's being stressed in that verse? We proclaim to you the gospel of God. And he says, we were working while we did it. And so Paul didn't set up somewhere just a classroom where he was able to just instruct. No, as he was working night and day, shoulder to shoulder with the Thessalonians, or with his fellow ministers, he was proclaiming the gospel to anyone that he had an opportunity to. In an individual type of way. And we'll see this even as we continue on and we look into verse 11. You could even say, bearing witness to each one of you. He says, we had one-on-one time with each one of you. And the purpose behind this hard work was to not be a burden. Paul taught, if a man doesn't work, he doesn't eat. Right? And that's in 2 Thessalonians, and so we'll get there at some point, but if a man doesn't work, he doesn't eat. And so Paul set that example. He didn't call on his status as an apostle for his entitlement to not have to work. He wouldn't let that be an obstacle. Yeah, I mean, could you imagine going into a bunch of pagans and be like, look, I'm a servant of the Lord God, you need to pay for my house. That wouldn't work. But he comes in, he says, I'm going to work hard amongst you, I'm going to make my own way, and I'm going to preach the gospel of God to you. And we proclaimed it while we worked amongst you. You remember that. We weren't a burden to you. So whoever tells you that we came to you with the pretext of greed, whoever's trying to insinuate that, if you have that thought in your mind, get it out of there. Remember how we worked amongst you. Remember our testimony. Remember our external representation that matched our message. Right? Hard work is a characteristic of every gospel trustee, and it needs to be a characteristic of your life as a Christian as well. The second characteristic that I see in this is an example for us is their godly conduct. Their godly conduct in verses 10 through 12. We see this description. All right, Paul just described their hard work. That is what they did. And now I would say what he describes is how they did it. You know there's a difference between that? This is what I did. Okay, great, but how did you do that? Well, you know what? We did it in the utmost of conduct. Not only did we work hard amongst you, but we had godly conduct while we did it. So in verse 10 reads, you are witnesses, and so is God, of how devoutly and righteously and blamelessly we behaved towards you believers. You are witness to this, and so is God. And I think there's a reason why he calls both of them to the courtroom to make a testimony. And I'll point that out in a moment. First, break this down. Devoutly. When he says devoutly, he's describing the living or behaving in a manner that's pleasing to God. right? So sometimes we can describe this as holy, pious, faithful. That's all in the idea. This isn't hagios type of holy, right? This isn't consecrated, set apart for a holy purpose. But this is a faithful, godly manner of living, a faithfully, godly practice of a life that pleases God. He said, we behaved devoutly amongst you. He also says we behaved righteously amongst you. This pertains to the quality or character of their thought or behavior as measured by laws and rules. Right? We know righteousness. None is righteous, no, not one, right? Because nobody stacks up to the rules and regulations. But he doesn't have in mind here God's regulations, but I think he has in mind here man's regulations. And so the use here is pertaining to the quality or characters, and they're following what was allowed in the day amongst the Thessalonians. We were just and upright towards you in every manner that you would expect from man to man. We were righteous in our behavior. And this is why I make this distinction, and other commentators do as well. This isn't a unique thought to me. This is why, think of this, devoutly is aimed at who? Pleasing who? God. Righteously is aimed at being upright and respectful towards who? Man. This is why he calls both of them to be witnesses. God can witness to how we devoutly behaved among you. You can be a witness to how we righteously behaved amongst you. And guess what? The third thing that he says, we're blameless in all of these. And so under this idea of blameless behavior, he says, you can't find fault. This describes a moral purity. This doesn't describe a perfection, but it describes an external obedience that is verifiable through observation on a human level. And so on a human level, as you observe how we behaved, you can say, yeah, we can't bring a charge against you. If we took you into a courtroom, there's no way that we could win. The judge would throw it out. You were devout. You were righteous in your behavior towards us. And so there's a blameless behavior. But besides godly character and blameless behavior, there's fatherly affection. Paul earlier used the description of a mother, right? The wet nurse, to describe the tender care and loving affection in raising a child. And now he calls on the duty of a father towards his children. And we see in verse 11, at the end of it, just as you're knowing how we are exhorting and encouraging and bearing witness to each one of you, as a father would his own children, so that you would walk in a manner worthy of God. This is a moral teaching. He's saying, hey, we were doing this for this moral reason. We wanted you to walk worthy of the God who calls you. And so he's making this exhortation. Again, it's key to remember that from a first century reader's perspective, even here specifically, a Macedonian Greek would understand the father's role in bringing moral and social instruction to the children. That was the father's role, to bring that. And I would say men, still not too far off from what God expects of us today. To set the tone, to set the instruction, to discipline. That doesn't mean to always to ground, but to train children in righteousness. And so, what tools did Paul use to do that? He tells us here. He lists it. He says how we were exhorting, encouraging, and bearing witness to each one of you, as a father would his own children. And so when he says exhort, it's this word that I'm sure you've heard before, parakaleo. That's the Greek word. It's a compound word, para alongside, kaleo to call. That's to call somebody to one side. And it's very flexible in the Greek. It can have lots of different implications. There's a range of use. And Paul uses this in every possible way. So whenever you see this, you have to look at the context to really discern which manner he's using it. And the nuance here that he uses is in this idea of exhortation being an urging, a strong urge, or an appeal to action. And I say that because all of these participles they're all connected to the desired outcome that you would walk in a manner worthy. And so I'm exhorting, that is, I'm appealing to you that you would live in a manner that would be line up with what God has called you to. And then he says, I'm encouraging. Here's another tool for your toolbox. Be encouraging. This is paramutheomai. So you might have heard para, and you're like, oh, okay, hey, here's another compound word. This is alongside, and matheomai meaning to speak. So this is to speak alongside. And the idea here is to come alongside someone in a positive and uplifting way. It's amazing how many times that this was used in outside of scriptural writings in describing how generals and kings and rulers would even come alongside and encourage people. It was an interesting time of studying that. So sometimes this comes translated consoled. Your version might say we consoled you. And when I thought about these two words and thinking about being a father and how can I encourage, what do these look like practically? I think a way to illustrate this would be like a coach. Many of you may have played sports here or did some other things and you had a coach. And a parakaleo, the exhortation is from the sidelines. Come on, you can do this. Hey, let's go, let's throw strikes, let's do whatever. You know, and then Tio, come here. Let me come speak alongside you now. And I called a timeout, and now I'm going to come alongside you, and I'm going to talk into you. That's the encouraging part. Do you see the difference between two of those? It reminds me of when I was running in a mud run race, and I was trying to encourage my wife. I'm running in front, and I'm looking back, and I'm like, come on, you can do this, you can do this. And then I'd slow down, and I'd get next to her and be like, come on, you're doing great, honey. And then finally she's just like, will you just go? Just go. And I said, okay. And so I took off because it was really painful for me to be running that slow. So it's true. No dig against her. It's fine. But so she just said, just take off. But again, that's the idea of to exhort, to call out to somebody versus coming alongside them. Have those tools in your toolbox and know when to use them. Be encouraging, be exhorting often, but remember to come alongside. Because all of these, again, kind of run into this third thing to bear witness to each one of you. The bearing witness is we're affirming something with earnestness. I'm testifying to you that what I'm telling you is true. I'm urging you. I'm coming alongside you. And I need to affirm and I need to insist that you walk in this manner because this is what's best for you. You're going to live your life for the glory of God. That's the best for you. Why would you want to walk like the heathens? And why would you want to walk in that own pattern of living? No, walk according to how God has called you. Because that's the point of verse 12. That's what all of this is driving to, is the desire to see the Thessalonians walking in a manner that is worthy of God. That's my heart for you here. That's the heart of the elders here. That's the heart of the leadership teams. The ladies' ministry, the men's ministry who serve you, they want to see you walking worthy of the God who called you. So they work hard. The men will come alongside the women and make brisket and make chicken and sweep and vacuum and clean up and do all these different things to come alongside. Because we know we're helping you serve the ladies. So God gave us a beautiful illustration of that in action this weekend. So the encouragement to the Thessalonians, and I hope to you also, is even as we look at this, is that there's a desire, again, the God who calls you into his own kingdom and glory. God establishes his kingdom. He calls his subjects into the kingdom, who get to participate in his glory. We don't have to seek out glory for ourselves here today on earth, because there will be a time where he will glorify us. In his kingdom forever. Christ will return and establish his kingdom on earth, and it will be a glorious day for all of us who are in Christ. And it will be a perilous day for anybody who is outside of Christ. For those who don't know him. So I have to ask this, do you know him? Do you know Jesus Christ as your Lord? Is he your Savior? Because when he comes to establish his kingdom, if you're on the wrong side of that wall, it will not go well for you. Your righteousness, your good works, anything that you're trying to do to get to heaven, whether it's coming to church or coming to Bible study, you're working really hard at not listening to that music or not watching those TV shows or whatever, that is not going to cut it. You have to come by grace through faith. You have to come to understand that God is holy and you're not. And that nothing that you can do could ever earn that right standing before God. So the band, you can come up. You have to trust in Christ completely. Is he your Lord? Some people will just make him Savior. Oh yeah, Jesus is my Savior. He's my ticket into heaven, but I want nothing to do with recognizing him as my Lord. I want nothing to do with recognizing him as having authority over me and telling me how I should live. Christ is coming. Will you be ready? Heavenly Father, Lord, I thank you for your word. Lord, and while this truth of your coming kingdom, Lord, is perilous to those who don't know you, Father, it is a rejoice for those of us who do. And so, Lord, I want us to leave here, Lord, thankful for those of us who are in Christ, thankful for your saving work, thankful for giving us an internal motivation. Father, I pray that as we remember who you are, Lord, that motivation, our desire to please you and to love you in obedience, Father, would affect the way that we live, that external representation, our testimony to a watching world. So, Lord, we wouldn't disqualify ourselves in the proclamation of your message. Heavenly Father, we love you and we praise you in Christ's holy name. Amen.